Steppin Out is sponsored by Zone Delivery USA. Fresh, healthy meals delivered to your door. For more information, go to zonedeliveryusa.com. GoDaddy.com. Use promo code GFQ3 upon checkout and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ.
A magazine called Steppin Out.
Steppin Out magazine.
That's Steppin Out magazine.
Huge crowd roar for Steppin Out.
And Stepping Out magazine.
Tell us, viewers, what do you think of this weirdness? It's maddening, isn't it? I'm everywhere. She's holding ejaculate.
Andrew, you still on the air? You're listening to Stepping Out of the Tabloids with Chauncey Hayden and normally Anju McIntyre, who's out again today. We got to find out what's going on with Anju, but in her place is the beautiful Nicole Kelly.
Nicole Kelly, that's right.
You don't look like a Kelly. You look like a Nicole Bartolini or Capotti or Caputo. You look so Italian. You don't look like there's an ounce of Kelly in you.
I know, I don't.
But you got rockin' tattoos.
I do have rockin' tattoos.
You got you got such an edge to you. I'm glad you're hosting the show with me today.
Me too.
I like edgy people. I like to surround myself with edgy people.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
And you can tell like there's something crazy about you because nobody gets tattoos like that all over their body unless you're crazy. Like my whole back is tattooed, but I know I'm insane. So what is your story, Nicole?
My story is every single one. It tells the story of my life.
Yeah, there's something going on with you.
There's a lot going on.
You're like an emotional wreck. Like every time something happens in your life, you run out and get tattooed and have
do.
You're one of those kind of people.
Yeah.
I like that. Those are the best kind of people.
Yeah.
Crazy, but the best kind of people.
Best kind of people.
Where are you from? I don't know nothing about you. But you know what? I know anything about Anju either. Anju is my co-host, this girl, Anju McIntyre. And I know so little about her. Sometimes she shows up and sometimes she doesn't. And we always wonder where she is when she's not here. So I probably know more about you, even though I know nothing, than I know about Anju.
I am born in Rockland County, New York, but I am a Bensonhurst, Brooklyn girl now.
You look like a Brooklyn girl.
Yeah.
You look like you can kick ass.
Yeah.
Like you're a tough girl.
Yes.
Well, thank you for co-hosting the show with us. And it's a great show today. We have, if you're a fan of reality TV, and so many people are today, we have two VH1 reality TV stars on the show. We have Meatball Johnny.
Johnny Meatballs.
Is it Meatball Johnny or Johnny Meatballs?
Johnny Meatballs.
It's Johnny Meatballs. Like when I say Meatball Johnny, it's like the biggest insult in the world. It's Johnny Meatballs. It even says on your shirt, Johnny Meatballs. How could I fuck that up? We have Johnny Meatballs and his beautiful wife, Megan. Because you spell it weird. You don't spell like a normal person.
I know. I don't know what the hell was wrong with my parents when they had me.
But you spell it M-I...
M-E-G-I-N.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the weird way.
It's so weird. It's crazy.
But you guys are famous from the TV show My Big Freakin Wedding, which was a huge hit for VH1. So we're glad to have you guys on the show.
We're glad to be here.
Are you?
Yeah.
We are.
Because if you're not, you can just say you're not.
No.
Most people aren't glad they're here. Like once you get here, you wish you weren't here. So if you feel that way, but not insulted, we understand.
We like to get out of the house now and then, so we're happy to be here.
Well, we have tons of questions for you guys. But before we get into your life story, and trust me, we're going to get into it, we want to just first talk about the Daily News today, the New York Daily News. They did a cover story on the cover of Stepping Out magazine today, which is the fucking coolest thing in the world.
Awesome.
This show is basically about Stepping Out magazine, so-mag.com. That's why we call it Stepping Out of the Tabloids. And on the cover of the Daily News today is that Mexican sports reporter who I interviewed, and I know I'm saying her name wrong. There's no way anybody can say this name correctly. Inez Saints. Is that right? You think I'm close?
It could be Inez, maybe?
Inez. That's probably even closer. Inez Saints. Doesn't really matter because she's so hot. Who cares?
True.
She's so beautiful. And I did this interview where she talked about a hot ass and how she really wasn't offended by the Jets, like kind of giving her a hard time in the locker room this past, I guess it was the beginning of the football season, and it made world news because the New York Jets have a bad reputation, and apparently they were saying all these inappropriate things to her when she was trying to cover the team. And I got to tell you, when you dress like that, like if I came to a jet locker room, my penis hanging out of my pants, I would expect the team to talk to me differently than they would if my penis was in my pants. And when you look like this girl, and how do you say her name?
Inez.
Inez. Probably not even saying it right. But when you look like that, people are going to look. People are going to say things about you. That's just how it goes. You can't get upset every time somebody goes crazy because you're hot. Like, Nicole, look how pretty you are.
Thank you.
Every day, do you have to deal with guys saying weird shit to you and doing stuff, like just bizarre things that are inappropriate?
It comes along with being a girl.
Like, when was the last time you were in a social setting and some guy or guys said something to you that you felt was inappropriate?
Probably last night.
Really? Like, what happened? I know it must happen all the time. Go ahead.
Well, let's see. I was taking an order.
At the incredible, you're talking about the incredible Sapphire Gentlemen's Club, which is where we broadcast from in the VIP room,
Yes.
which God only knows what goes on back here. Guys, don't touch anything. That's all I'm going to say. And you would agree with me, Nicole, right? Like, you really don't want to touch anything without washing your hands.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so what happened while you were working here?
Taking an order, regular order, and the guy just assumed, I was going to sit on his lap. Just come sit,
Because you're hot.
I guess. Thank you very much.
See, but when you're beautiful, Megan, you have the most beautiful face I've ever seen on a woman. Like, you have piercing eyes. How often do guys hit on you and say inappropriate things?
It's crazy because doing the show, you get a lot of weirdos just regardless. And I actually did a boudoir photo shoot, and I have guys talking to my husband about my photo shoot, and that's kind of weird, but it's flattering at the same time. If you're putting yourself out there, and
right, and that's
what you're gonna do.
And that's my point with this Mexican reporter. She totally puts herself out there, and I don't even understand. Granted, she has the best ass I've ever seen. It really does. Like, do we have that video of her ass? Can we play that video? I think we have a whole clip of just her ass. And it's in Spanish, so you don't understand what the hell they're saying. But she's so hot, you don't even care. Well, Sean is bringing that up. The other thing I notice about these girls, Mexican girls I'm referring to. Are you Mexican, by the way?
I'm definitely not Mexican now.
Hey, you know how I know you're not Mexican? Because you don't have a beard. Mexican women have beards. And I know this for a fact because I've told this story before on the air. I interviewed, Eva Longoria a couple of years ago. You know the girl from Desperate Housewives?
Yeah.
And I had to go meet her in a hotel room in the city. I knocked on the door to the hotel. She answered the door, Eva, and she had a goatee. I'm telling you, she had a goatee like your husband.
Oh, boy.
Like Johnny, that's how. She actually sat me down and said, do you mind if I wax my beard while we're talking? That's how thick her mustache and
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
We're Italian, but I don't know about that.
No, it's totally a Mexican thing. And it's weird because Mexican guys can't grow any hair. The women do and the guys can't. If you ever noticed that. Do you ever look at a dishwasher in the kitchen? The Mexican guys, they don't have beards. They can't grow beards.
Little tiny mustaches.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
The women grow thick goatees. So that's how I know. And so I'm assuming that, how do you say it, Inez?
If she's Mexican, it's most likely Inez.
Inez. She most likely has facial hair. I mean, you have to assume she does. So as hot as she looks, you just have to assume that there's something going on.
There's this great invention called waxing and threading. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, you got to get that thing off. Do you have a clip of her? Go ahead, Shona, play the clip.
Los invito a meternos al área chica de una escultural mujer y anotarle un gol olímpico a sus entallados pantalones. Su nombre es Inés Sáenz y es el mayor atractivo del deporte. Inés es la mujer perfecta, pues es hermosa, tiene un gran cuerpo, goza de gran sentido del humor, es muy trabajadora y además le gusta el deporte.
So you get the idea. That's how hot this girl is, but I think if you're up close, you'd be unsatisfied with what you saw, only because she's Mexican.
She
That's
does-
my feeling.
She doesn't look Mexican.
She
now
doesn't.
at
I
all.
was just looking at it. She, not at all.
You don't think so?
She looks like
You know
she would be
dyes
a
it-
Kelly.
you
She
know-
looks like she could be a Kelly.
You know that she dyes her hair though. That's not her natural color. You have to assume that, right? She must picture her with black hair.
Still, but I guess she.
I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of cool that we made the cover of the Daily News because she's rooting for the Jets to win the Super Bowl. So for some reason, the papers thought that was a huge story. So it was cool for Stepping Out magazine. So that was kind of cool. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I have to say, I don't know, we all were on a break for the last 2 weeks. So this is our first show back after, what, Scott, 14 days or 10 days? Something like that. A long time since we've been back on the air. And you wonder what people do during the break. And I was hesitant to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it. Because to me, it's fascinating. I'm not going to ask you girls, because I know the answer already. But Johnny, do you ever go out and get massages?
No, I don't.
You never.
I've never gotten a Swedish massage.
Scott, have you ever gone out for a Swedish massage? Here's the thing, and I go all the time. Like I go constantly. I'm like addicted to getting massages. Nicole, do you ever get massages?
Yes.
You go out and get a Swedish massage. Like you lay on the table, you take your clothes off, and a woman or a guy rubs your body.
Yes,
All right.
it's a must.
And it's relaxing.
Relaxing.
And you ever fall asleep?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
Especially if it's a good one.
Yeah, I go all the time. So, and it's always straight. It's nothing dirty. You know, I lay on the table, and I'm one of those guys that's not shy. Like I take my clothes off, I get completely naked, and I lay on the table and I throw a towel over my ass. That's how I do it. So over the break, I treated myself to a massage in this place in New Jersey. I won't say what town because I want to. I don't want them to get closed down. This is my new favorite place. I lay on the table, and the girl, this Asian girl, starts massaging me, and it was great for the first 15 minutes. But then I started noticing that she was spending a lot of time on my ass. Like a lot of time. Like I like it when they rub, but they like knead your ass. Like they put their fingers deep into your ass. Nicole, you like that too? Like they really get into your ass muscle. Like you're not shy. You don't freak out when they do that.
No.
So, I don't either. So, but she's like spending 20 minutes on my ass, and then she starts like pulling my ass cheeks and like actually I could feel the breeze going into my cavity.
Wow.
It was a weird experience.
Maybe I should look into
It was a weird experience, and then
Smack.
and then she has me flip over, and she takes the baby oil, and they all don't use baby oil. She did, and she takes half the bottle and pours it on my chest, literally half the bottle, and starts rubbing my chest with tons and tons of baby oil, and it was just weird to me. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a normal massage, and I'm thinking, after about 40 minutes of this, I think something else is supposed to happen. I don't think this is one of those massages where you just get a massage and go home.
This is a happy ending massage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at what my question is, at what point do you make that call? Because it was almost like we were feeling each other out. Like I won't lie to you, I started getting a boner. I really started getting a boner and I never get a boner during massage. If anything, it goes the other way. This one time, to the point where the towel was pointing up in the air, like a
It
teepee,
was a tent.
like a teepee. And she was like rubbing the inside of my groin, and her finger was definitely touching my scrotum too much. Like her fingers were like almost stuck, because I started to sweat because I was nervous, and my balls were stuck to her finger. So as she was rubbing the inside of my thigh, my ball was like going back and forth, pressed against her finger because it was stuck to it like glue, like crazy glue. So my point is, at what point do you realize you're getting a happy ending? Because I kind of had to make the move. Like I wasn't sure if I was to just lay there, you know what I mean?
See what
And
happens,
or do I actually help the situation along?
Yeah.
So what
Was
I
she
did,
hot?
no, like an old lady.
Well, that's your answer
Yeah.
then.
But I
If
was
nature
right.
didn't dictate what happened,
But
then
I was aroused. But I was getting aroused. So is that kind of sick that I was getting aroused to this old Asian woman?
So then maybe close your eyes and just enjoy.
Yeah.
This is what happened, and this is why I don't know if I'm a freak or not. I got so aroused by it, and I've never done this before. And she got to the point where I was drowning in baby oil. She takes my hand and she pours baby oil on my hand and then wraps my fingers around my wiener and starts masturbating me with my own hand.
Oh, there you go.
So, what are you supposed to do in that case? I did what I felt I should do in that situation, but isn't it kind of an awkward situation? Like, what if I didn't want that? Like, what if I wasn't looking for that?
Well, maybe
What do you do
maybe
when
she
that
was
happens?
thinking that because like you got totally butt ass naked. Maybe if like you just had your whitey tighties on,
She wouldn't have thought I was looking
maybe,
for more.
Yeah, maybe that's like the sign.
That is that. Thank you.
Maybe.
So is that like the go word, the green light word?
Yeah,
if you take
I
all
mean,
your
I think
clothes
if
off.
you're like going commando and you just have like a towel wrapped around your ass, maybe,
Really?
yeah, maybe they're thinking, okay. he's
Because the
coming
other
in
thing,
for-
weird thing is that I got to be the guy to do it. You know what I mean? Like she grabs my ball sack
Yeah, that's
and starts
kinda
playing
weird.
with it, and I got to be the guy to finish me off.
Right. I mean, that's like a half a tip worthy. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not really.
So should I be offended by that, or should I be honored? Maybe she never does this, and she was so turned on that she went the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe this was new for her too, and she didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
You were giving her all.
Or-
Maybe that's what kind of led it in that direction.
I kept waiting for her to scream and call the cops. You know what I mean? Like I thought at one point I was going to get arrested. I didn't know if I was being set up.
right.
It's a weird situation.
That is.
It is. You know what's that, Shauna?
Is this the place by the bagel store?
No, it's not. That's where I normally go. There's a massage place by
Oh, I
the
know what you're
bagel store
talking
where we
about.
work.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. No, that place is totally legit. That's why they were booked. I couldn't get an appointment there, so I went to a place in Fairlawn down the road. And you know what? And the lights were darker. It was in a back room. Like it was kind of set up for something that might.
Yeah, I went to one of those ones. I was
Really?
like, yeah, I was like, no, I was like 18, and I just turned 18, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for a massage. I went to a massage, and there was like all these Asian people like around, and the girl was like, all right, get naked, and I was like, all right, and I didn't know. I mean, it was my first like massage.
Yeah.
So then, she starts like rubbing me down, and then like she gives me a kiss.
Could you say this story slower and talk a little closer to the mic?
Should I go down low like this?
Yes.
So
Yes,
she,
you should.
She makes me get, like naked, and
Yeah.
she starts like, giving me my massage, and she kisses me like on the cheek, but it was like a seductive
Are you
kiss.
serious?
Yeah, it was like a seductive kiss, and I was like, okay, what do I do now?
Wait a
It
minute.
was really
Because
Hold on
you
a
know what it
second.
is.
Look
You
at
don't
Johnny getting
know.
crazy.
You don't know.
You
You
don't
don't
know.
Hold on. I got to.
know her back
You got to
then,
go
so-
back. This is an hour show
Yeah.
right here. So wait a second. You were 18 years old.
Yeah, I
And-
was like, all right, I'm an adult. I'm gonna go get a massage. I
Yeah.
thought that was like the adult thing to do. Apparently.
And you went to a legitimate massage.
Well, I
place.
don't know how legit it was. I mean, I just
Was it
picked
just walk in?
one.
You had to make an appointment.
No, I made an appointment. I did make an appointment.
And it was a woman.
It was a woman.
Was she
And
Asian?
Yeah, they were all.
Was she hot?
No.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So you took your clothes off. How naked did you get?
Yeah, I was like, totally
completely naked on
yeah.
the table. You get on your stomach,
Yeah.
and she starts doing your back.
Yeah.
And at what point does it get inappropriate?
She was like Well, I had my bra on. I have to say, I had my bra on, and then she's just like, she unsnapped my bra when I was laying face forward, and then she massaged me, and then she snaps my bra back on, and I flip over, and I had a towel, covering my bottom, and she gave me a kiss on the cheek.
She kissed your cheek.
Yeah, but it was like a long kiss. It was
Yeah.
like a seductive.
Like she was telling you, if
kiss.
you're up for this, I'm up
Yeah,
for this.
Right, that was
yeah.
she
It
was
was
feeling it out.
very like weird, and then I was like kind of like standoffish. So
Yeah.
If that was a guy, what would you have done? If that was a guy that leaned over and kissed you on the cheek like
Yeah,
that, would you have ran out?
It depends if he was hot. I mean, hot and he did that.
Are you
then,
serious? So
yeah,
if the guy was
maybe.
hot, you might have went for it.
Maybe. I mean, I was young and single, and why not? I mean,
Oh, that's amazing, Johnny. Can you believe this?
I don't know what to say.
That's
he was
amazing.
hot. I mean, why not?
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
true.
It's a-
See, I always wondered if I was a guy masseuse, I wouldn't have the balls to make that move. Because the second I did, I just assumed you'd call the cops.
yeah,
and
you'd
start
probably get
screaming.
like raided.
Yeah, the second I did that, if you freaked out, I'd go to prison.
Yeah.
So
it
how
was
do
awkward.
you have the balls to make that move? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're a woman, you can kind of get away with it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was.
So
really
what
shady.
else did she do?
she just gave me a kiss on the cheek, and she's like, okay, and I was like, okay, we're done now. Like,
Yeah.
She didn't touch you anywhere else?
no, I mean, like, she was like, I have pretty big boobs, and like when I was laying flat, like she kind of like caressed the side of my boobs, but like I thought that was like normal.
Right.
But like thinking back, I'm like, holy shit, I got like
Yeah.
sexually harassed
Yeah.
pretty much.
See, I guess it's the same. Like, all right, if you were me, only with a vagina,
Right.
it would be the same as if she put baby oil on her fingers and slid them inside your vagina.
No, yeah, I mean.
Or no, better yet,
No,
she
my
took your
hand,
finger.
right.
If she took your
Right.
finger and
Right.
put baby oil on it
Right.
and stuck it inside your vagina, wouldn't that freak you out?
Well, I mean, I wasn't aroused like you were aroused. I mean, maybe.
I was around. I
like-
gotta admit, but you know what? Your eyes are closed too. When you're getting a massage, you have your eyes shut. If my eyes were open, I don't know if I. Although I know what I would do. All right, I'm such a perv. When she'd lean over me, when she would lean over my face, like to do my chest, like she was standing behind my head, and I actually would open my eyes because I could see up her shirt. And I think that was good. But she wasn't like, she was thin, but she had to be like 55, 60 years old.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter to me. She was turning me on.
Well, hey, whatever
The
floats
oil.
your
Yeah.
boat.
It was
Yeah.
driving,
Yeah.
but,
It worked.
but the worst part is after you have an orgasm, then it's the worst. It's the absolute worst because you don't know what to do. Then now you're messy. And
You got a
you're
mess
stiff.
on your
You got
hands,
mess, and I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've done anything.
Okay.
So when I exploded, it had to be all over. It had to be like
Like on the ceiling.
like a bazooka, yeah, like everywhere, all over the room. And I know that for a fact. So I'm laying there. I know I just messed up the whole room, and I know someone's got to clean this stuff. And it's probably even on her. It's probably everywhere. You just want to get out of there. You want to throw your pants on and run out of the room, get in your car, and drive home as
Yeah.
fast as possible. But there was like another 20 minutes to the massage. So now she's rubbing me, and I feel like she's rubbing my.
Did she clean it up at least?
She gives you a towel and she puts it in your hand, and you got to start kind of clean yourself up. And now I'm just thinking I'm.
Now
right-
you're like, oh shit, are the cops
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
come right
Yeah.
here,
and
busting
I
out
feel
right
like-
now?
I feel like I'm rubbing this stuff all over me. It was just so awkward. Like I just wanted to get out of there. It was like being with a hooker. Like Johnny, you've been with hookers, right?
No.
Really? Never?
No.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I have. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know any guy that hasn't been with hookers. Scott, you've been with hookers, right?
Never.
Are you serious?
parties count?
Yes, of course.
Bachelor parties don't count.
Oh my God, I think I've been with like 1,000 hookers in my life. It has to be 1,000. And anyway, it's always that awkward moment where you don't know what to do when you're done. You want to kill them.
Yeah.
You want to choke the life out of them, put them in a plastic bag, and throw them on the curb, and just be done with it.
Maybe like next time you should wait until like the very end of the massage to finish, and then you could just like
Yeah.
book
So
it out of there.
next time, I think I'll expect it. Where this time I didn't expect it.
Right.
So
Okay.
I rush things along. Well, next time I'll have to keep better track of the
You
time.
have to have a little more self-control next time.
I think
and
you're
try
right.
to hold off.
I
So
think-
you're gonna go back to this place.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go back. It's $50. $50, and it was a great for an
$50.
Yeah, that's not
and
bad.
you're getting
for an
deal.
hour massage
And a
2
happy ending.
minutes. Okay,
Fair lawn, you said that was?
they're Fairlawn, New Jersey.
You gonna make an appointment, Johnny?
Anyway, I don't know what you did, Scott, but this is what I did. I had a good time. That was my Christmas present to myself.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Entitled.
You never had a happy ending, Scott?
I plead the fifth.
Really? Oh, but- See, I don't know why should guys be embarrassed about that stuff? I think it's human nature. Like that lesbian. Did you read about that lesbian relationship with those two teachers in the classroom?
How great is that?
This is the greatest story. We have 4 more minutes before I have to end it, before we go to break. But I just got to tell you this story because this is the greatest story ever told. Over the Christmas break, these 2 teachers in Brooklyn got fired. And I don't know if you heard of this story or remember it, but a couple of months ago, these 2 hot, and they're hot. You've seen pictures.
they were hot.
They're hot. These 2 hot teachers went into the classroom after hours, after drinking in a bar by the school, got naked and had sex with each other. And a janitor walked in, caught them, and called the police. And they got in trouble and just got fired. But the story they're giving the school board is that one of them had diabetes, was having a medical emergency. So the other one brought her back to the classroom where she thought she had some candy in one of her desks and laid her on the floor. And I guess at one point they felt like they had to get naked to administer the candy.
Wow.
And that's
She
what
got some candy, I'll tell you.
so
Yeah.
that's what the janitor walked in on, not a sexual act.
Jesus.
It is the greatest story. If I was the janitor Why would you bust that up?
Why wouldn't you just like enjoy the view
Yeah.
or like join in?
I would take a seat and I would thank God I'm alive.
Throw the mop
Absolutely.
Can you
down
imagine
and
calling
get
the
in
cops and breaking that up
Jeez.
and getting these girls fired?
Yeah.
I would blackmail them.
Yeah.
I take my
totally.
cell phone camera out, I film it, and I tell them, if you don't let me join in and we don't do this once a week,
Yeah.
I'm going to have you fired.
Something
'Cause
seriously wrong with him.
I'm that kind of sleazy person. How
Yeah,
could you
I'm
not
with
do that? Who would call
Right.
the cops?
I don't. Yeah, that's.
You ever been with a woman, Megan?
I've kissed a
You
girl,
have,
but I've never
absolutely.
been with.
We're
like,
never getting to meatballs tonight, are we?
No, that's never happening. I thought you knew that coming in. Nicole, have you ever been with a woman?
I want to say probably every girl at some time in their life has been with a girl.
Really?
Yes.
More than once with you? Oh, absolutely. Because you work here at the club. How many times did the oh my God.
He's hooked on the hookers.
How many times do the girls
dancers.
that work here proposition you?
Well, everyone's friendly, you know.
And do you ever take them up on it? Have you ever actually left with a girl from here?
No.
You serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a boyfriend?
I have a fiance.
And he's never asked you to bring a girl from here back to the house?
No, he gets enough of me at home.
Really? Never asked you for a threesome?
No.
That's so gay. How could you not? Johnny, how many times have you asked your wife for a threesome?
Well, you know what? I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
That's every guy does. Every guy does. I mean, if you hit the jackpot, she agrees, but usually you end up in divorce when you do that.
Yeah, I'm really jealous. So I mean, it would have to be like more focused on me than him.
Whatever.
It never works. It never works. It's always a problem.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It would probably have to be like a hooker off the street, because I mean, if it was like one of my friends, then
Yeah, you'd never be
Yeah,
able to deal
you
with it
can't-
again.
yeah.
Megan, you're wild. You would consider it, wouldn't you?
probably I would consider it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm in love with you.
I love her. She's awesome.
Okay,
I love her
we're gonna take a
We're gonna talk
break.
about this later.
We have a lot to talk about. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk to Johnny Meatballs and his smoking hot wife, who's wild and a sex maniac. Your next reality show may be Sex Rehab,
Maybe.
Yeah.
and we're gonna ask them about their meatballs. We're gonna ask them about my big freaking wedding. We're gonna ask them a bunch of questions. So let's take a quick break, and we'll come back right after this.
Hey, this is Johnny Meatballs, the Meatball King of New Jersey, and this is my new song, the Meatball Song.
Hey, Johnny, why are your meatballs so special?
Why? Let me take you back to my house on a Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna tell you this, come on over, give me a kiss. Time to sing a little song that you don't wanna miss. When I cook a meal for you, there's something you must do. Have some fun and dance a little till the kitchen's like a zoo. Every Sunday's when I make yummy meatballs, oh so nice. Make a gravy with brajol and the garlic and the spice. Hey! I'm making meatballs over here, over here. I'm making meatballs over here, over here. Making meatballs, and I'm feeling very fine. Making meatballs, and I drink a little wine. Hey!
Hey, Johnny, what are you doing in there?
What do you think I'm doing? It's Sunday, I'm making meatballs.
Get out of here. I love your meatballs, Johnny.
Hey, slow down talking about my meatballs like that. I take a lot of pride in my balls, you know?
Talk to me, Johnny.
Every day for you and him and her is something new. Chicken scampi, parmigiana, maybe some pasta fazool. Have a sausage and some peppers and an antipasta plate. Gabagool, some salami and some nice fresh grapes. Mortadella and mozzarella. Oh, Marone, it never ends. Managord and strombolis make it all again and again. But the things I love to make, they taste so very great. Chop the parsley and the basil. Here we go, for heaven's sakes. Oh, I'm making meatballs over here, over here. I'm making meatballs over here, over here. Making meatballs, and I'm feeling very fine. Making meatballs, and I drink a little wine. Hey!
Oh, now I get it, Johnny. So you're the meatball king of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right.
So you threw that big friggin' wedding, right?
Yeah, that was me and Megan.
How's that going, Johnny?
You know, as long as I keep cooking in the kitchen, he keeps rising in the bedroom.
Hey!
Veal masala, calamari, some big ziti and lasagna, rice balls, artichokes, penny sauce made with vodka. When you eat the Maya pizza, you will never feel a blue. Rollatini, pesto sauce, and creamy Alfredo too. If you still get hungry later, there'll be some risotto left. Spicy mussels, marinara, grow some hair up on your chest. But I'm making meatballs over here, over here.
Now that's a good meatball, Johnny.
No, Lucas, that's a good friggin' meatball. Oh!
Hey, we're back, and you're listening to Stepping Out of the Tabloids with Chauncey Hayden and my substitute co-host tonight, Nicole Kelly, the beautiful Nicole Kelly, who works here at the Sapphire Club where we broadcast from, the greatest gentlemen's club in the world.
In the world.
Absolutely, the most beautiful women, some of the hottest women from every part of the world you can imagine, Russia, the Ukraine, Brazil,
Colombia,
Texas, everywhere.
Jersey.
Anyway, speaking of Jersey, on the show tonight, and we're so thrilled to have these two people in the studio, live and in person. We have Meatball Johnny Meatballs. Johnny.
Meatballs.
Why do I keep saying Meatball Johnny?
It's
Jesus
the same thing
Christ.
as saying like Paulie Walnuts.
No,
When you're
I-
Italian, you'd have to do
Holy
it that way.
shit! I don't know what's wrong with me. I fuck up
read the
names all the
shirt,
time.
yeah.
It says that's what I mean. It says on your shirt, Johnny Meatballs, and I have like dyslexia. I see Meatball Johnny when I look at your shirt. It says Johnny Meatballs.
It's all right.
Anyway, you're here with your beautiful wife, Megan.
Megan.
What did I say?
Megan.
Megan.
It's Megan.
Megan.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have problems, don't I? I have such a weird thing with names. It's off the charts. I can tell you a story. We've had shows where every time I mention someone's name, I have to be corrected. I'm fucked up. But thank you for coming. What's that?
Sponsors.
Yeah, and sponsors. Anyway, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Of course, everyone knows you guys from my Big Freakin Wedding on VH1. When was the final? It was in December, wasn't it? Just recently?
Yeah.
The last show was January 3rd, but our wedding was a week before that, so
Right.
we had the final before the actual final.
A lot of people want to know, why would you guys want to put your wedding on a reality show? Because it's such an intimate thing. Every woman dreams of the perfect day. Aren't you putting a lot on the line and possibly destroying that perfect day by turning it into a TV show?
And she's a saint for, agreeing to the whole thing, so.
Johnny, was your idea?
It was my idea, but the whole thing was my idea. I was divorced, so, for me, this second wedding was, icing on the cake and all that, so I figured, what the hell?
So it got fucked up. Who cares? You've already had the big wedding.
Exactly, right? How
Yeah.
fucked up is that?
Well, I wouldn't put it like that, but,
And yet, for you, Megan, it was your first time.
Yes, it was my first
So this
time.
meant a lot to you. Obviously more than it meant for Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of, getting married as it is. I mean, but, he wanted to do it, and...
So you would have been
Yeah.
happy just living with Johnny.
It's like a piece of paper. I
and
would've
then she
went-
got knocked up, and,
So then it was, kind of you have to get married, because it's, the right thing to do now.
she had the baby, we got married,
How do
2
people-
months later, so.
See, I understand how people get knocked up. Unless you want to. Did you want to get pregnant?
Well, I didn't think it was, really possible. He's like,
How is it not possible? I don't understand that. It's so possible.
They told me I had a low sperm count. I was with my
Oh,
ex.
I get it. So
he's
Johnny
like-
was
he's
telling
like,
you that he
"Don't
couldn't get
worry."
people.
I was with my
telling
ex
you
for
that-
10 years, and, nothing ever happened there, so I figured, keep going there, and,
But once you have an orgasm inside your future wife, there's a possibility that you could have a kid, right? I mean, I pull out every time. There's never been I always pull out. I pull out so far in advance that sometimes hours before I pull out. I don't want any chance of there being a baby. If the girl tells me she's pregnant, I want to be able to say with confidence, "You lying bitch." But you
But
went
it
for
didn't matter to me anyway, because, I always wanted to have a child, so for me, if it happens...
Is it a lack?
already,
Is it a lack?
so-
I'm being serious. Is it a lack of self-control? Is it once you get into the heat of the moment that she's so beautiful and the sex is so
That's
great
part of it.
that you just can't pull out?
That's,
Well, I mean, I think it feels good for, both parties. I mean, it sucks when he pulls out and, they bust on your
Oh,
chest
yeah,
and then
yes.
you got to clean it up. I mean, it's a lot easier.
But don't guys like that? Like you pull out and every porn video I watch, and I watch them all the
I mean,
time.
it's a total porno, move, but, I mean, it feels good,
nothing like it, really.
There's not. I think that's just, a really
So
good feeling.
the second he has an orgasm inside of you, are you thinking, "Holy shit, I hope I don't get pregnant"? Or
It
what
depends,
point does that?
what kind of, when, in the month? If it's,
You play the rhythm method or
Yeah.
whatever.
Was it when you learned you were pregnant? Was it
So true.
Was it upsetting or were you excited?
You're in shock.
Yeah, I mean, I
She
just
was devastated.
started. I just started with my
cried?
career, and I was like, "Holy shit, what am I gonna do now?" And then I was more concerned about like my son because like my son's like the baby and
Right.
and now like I was like, oh my God, you know, he's not gonna be the center of attention anymore.
I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking about that before the show. Tell me what you think. I really want to know your opinion. I'm a stepchild, and I know that when you're a stepchild, your life is ruined. Yeah, you have this kid who's from both your bodies, right? Now you have this stepson, Johnny. The kid is never gonna feel completely loved like the baby that you two had.
Yeah.
Do you worry about that?
All the time.
It's gonna be a major issue, right?
I pray to God that he's not fucked up like every single day.
He'll be all right.
No, seriously.
He'll be okay.
Like every single day, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm ruining
Matthew
this
is
kid's
fine.
life.
What do you
you know.
say to him? Do you have that talk where you sit him down and you say, "Listen, your life is about to be ruined"?
No, because like I overcompensate a lot with him. You know, like it's like he gets a lot more.
This is why
like,
this is
material,
where
like,
they get
shit.
Spoils them rotten.
Yeah.
This is why they get messed up. Yeah, because either they're spoiled or neglected. Whatever happens.
It's like
but
the total opposite for Matthew. Like he's so not neglected. Like he's
Right.
so
Right.
overly loved and like so overly like spoiled that he's gonna be like the.
Johnny's shaking his head. Why?
Because he's like, Megan, you're right, and like we spend all our money on this kid.
It's true.
Like he's gonna be the
Well,
kid
he wants to
that's
be a rock
17
star,
years
and you
old.
know that's his thing. So we're always
Yeah.
buying him costumes, and
Like he loves Kiss.
he likes Kiss. He wants makeup and wigs, and
Do you love him, Johnny? Do
absolutely,
You love Matthew.
Absolutely,
What's the name of your other son?
Christian.
Do you love Matthew as much as you love Christian?
I do. I do.
See, I think that's not possible.
Yeah, I don't believe him either.
It's not possible. You can't. You cannot love Matthew the way you love Christian. You said.
Yeah.
See, Matthew came first. So, like for me, when I came into the picture,
You look at
so I
Matthew-
bonded with Matthew.
But you look at Matthew, Johnny, and don't you see the man who had your wife before you did?
No.
You resent him. You must resent him. There's some level of resentment.
Tell you the truth, I never see him, and he's never spoken of. So it's really tough to resent the
Who,
guy. that's-
Matthew?
No, his father. So it's tough to worry about a guy that's not in the picture. So
But
I
you
got
know
nothing to
what's,
say
you know
about
what's
that.
really creepy is that like Matthew and Johnny are so alike. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's like he does the same
He's a ham.
things. I
He's a
hear
big
all
ham.
the stories from from my mother-in-law about like the stories of him being little, and it's the same thing as Matthew. And I'm like, holy shit! Like you like
Always looking for
knocked me up
cameras
like
and, you know.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
like without me knowing.
Yeah.
You know it's weird.
He wants to be on TV, and you know,
You're,
I always wanted to be. So
Johnny, you're so Italian. I look at you, and how great is it today? It's like such a hot to be Italian and in New Jersey today. It's the greatest thing in the world, right? I mean, even if you're not on a reality show, when you're Italian and you're from New Jersey, it's almost like you could just sign autographs because you're Italian and from New Jersey.
Great.
People love New Jersey
nothing better.
Italians.
Nothing better.
There's
than
nothing better, right?
Jersey is the epicenter. That's where it all happens. You know.
And on this show, on my Big Freakin Wedding, it's so Italian. You guys are so Goomba that you make the Jersey Shore cast look like leprechauns. Let's face it, you really do.
Well, that was our goal. You know.
Do you consider yourself a Guido?
Sure, but the real Guido, you know, the
Yeah.
real
What
deal.
is that? That's what I was gonna say. What is the difference between the Jersey Shore, the Guido we got to know on MTV compared to the real
You gotta
Jersey
be
Guido?
real. You gotta be real Italian. You know, you gotta say that you actually have Italian roots with your family and you practice all the traditions, etc. You know, you've been to Italy, which I have. You know how to cook, of course. Johnny Meatballs. That's my whole life. So
It's not like about being a muscle-bound steroid head, is it?
no, I never thought it was. You know,
Are you in the mafia?
no.
You gotta be. I can picture you on a witness stand at a mob trial.
I'm in the meatball mafia.
I'm in the
That's-
meatball business. Remember in The Godfather? Who's the character?
Who's in the olive oil business?
Olive oil business. You're in the meatball business.
That's right. That's right.
Do you have like bodies hanging in a meat locker?
No, actually, not that I know of.
What is in these meatballs? Johnny, by the way, brought meatballs. We're gonna try them in a few minutes. And you really are known for making the world's
That's right.
greatest meatballs.
I'm the real deal. That's like I said. I'm not one of these poses. You know.
You would hate me because you know what I do? I go. There's a little A&P by my house, and I go there and I buy the pre-made meatballs and I throw them in a pot of ragu.
That's
spaghetti
a
sauce.
sin.
Oh my
Ragu.
God.
And I have but it's meat flavored. And then I have the whole wheat pasta that I cook for 12
Well, now
minutes.
you can buy mine in the grocery store.
Is
Put
there,
'em in
but
the
is there a
oven.
difference? Like, am I going to taste the difference between that meatball
Yeah,
of
and
course.
a A&P?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
What is the difference between
mine are homemade.
Homemade.
They're exactly like your
But me-
grandmother. Well, maybe not your grandmother, but an
My
Italian.
grandmother was a crazy Jamaican Jew.
An
like, you don't
Italian
even know it.
grandmother or an Italian mother will make. That's how mine are. Hand roll, handmade, all
Yes.
natural ingredients, no preservatives, homemade sauce or gravy. No raisins. That's Sicilian style. These are not with that. So
Raisins. Where am I? What is this? See, meatball to me, it's just hamburger meat.
No.
You roll up into a little,
Yes,
a little golf ball.
that's the other thing. This is not beef. This is veal, pork, and beef. The holy trinity. So I got all three meats in my meatballs. That's why they're so special.
And that's what's made. And you actually made a career out of that. Like
Yeah.
people, do you get calls from over the world for your meatballs? Has it gotten that
I
big?
do. I've been
Really?
getting calls from everywhere. Butte, Montana, and Iowa, and I got a guy in Chattanooga and England. Somebody contacted me. So I mean, they're all over the place trying to get these
You
balls.
should do like a Johnny Meatball infomercial where you
I
actually.
would like to do that.
You
I
should
would like
do
to
that.
do like a bus tour or something. Like hop
Yeah.
on the bus. Like Kramer did on Seinfeld. Get on the bus and just go
Yeah.
around.
So
the
who does
country.
the cooking?
Demos.
So does Johnny do the cooking in the house?
We both do the cooking. I'm
But
a
about
pretty good cook.
60-40, me, I think I was saying. Pretty much.
See, the other thing about you guys, when you hooked up, it was kind of a scandal, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. was
You were
scandalous,
both with someone
Yeah.
when you guys met.
Yeah.
Johnny, were you married or
I was married. I was in
Really?
a 10-year relationship.
you're kidding? You have kids?
No, we never had kids.
So you were married and you met Megan.
At the office.
And Megan, you were with a guy, but
She
you weren't
was
married.
engaged.
You were
Yeah,
engaged
I
to a
was
guy.
engaged. I was
About
with
to
somebody
get
for
married.
7
And
years.
you knew Johnny was married.
Yeah, I knew his.
That's
Really?
what attracted her,
Is
to
that
me.
true? Is that true, Megan, that women are attracted to married men?
I couldn't believe that he was married. I couldn't believe that somebody like married him. Like he's like, oh, I'm married, and I was like, you're married.
You
I
didn't
couldn't
like
be-
him
I
at
couldn't
first.
believe it. Oh no, I didn't like him at all.
See, it's so hard, isn't it hard to make that move? When you're married, it's one thing to have an affair, but how does it go down when you actually leave your wife for the other woman? Like, how did it happen for you?
It was a tough.
I gave him a good
uh,
blowjob.
Is the sex? Is
It was
the
a
sex
tough
so great?
That actually might have been what pushed it over the edge.
Yeah.
Is Megan so great at oral sex that you went home and
She
told your
is
wife to pack a
fantastic.
bag?
That was the
she
icing on the
unbelievable.
cake.
no, I wear Burberry perfume, and
Oh, you're gonna tell that story, great.
and like for his wife's birthday, he made me go out to the mall with him, get Burberry perfume so she could wear it. So like. She
So
could smell
your
like
wife
me.
smelled like your girlfriend.
She
Nicole, is this making you
Now
sick?
that's
Are you
ballsy
angry?
there.
She-
Johnny
Look at
Meatballs,
Nicole.
that is.
She would not put the perfume on. She threw it back in my face because she suspected that because my ex-wife only wore Coach perfume, so I only bought her. When I come along with the Burberry one day, we went to Bloomingdale's on our lunch break from the office, me and her, and we got the Burberry. I brought her home to my ex, and she wouldn't have any of it.
But isn't it stressful when you're having? Isn't it a
That's
lot
a
of
good
stress
one.
when you're having an affair? Megan, is there like a stigma attached to that? Like when you are with a married man, do your friends like get pissed off? Like what goes down on your side of the fence?
You know, my friends really didn't say too much. They were like cautious about him at first because they thought like, once you cheat on your wife, like it's like
Once
it's
a
like,
cheater, always a
yeah,
cheater.
it's like, and then you always think of like the cheater's karma that
Right.
comes back. But I mean, if your wife is not giving it to you at home and like not doing it for you, you're gonna look somewhere else. So I don't feel bad. I don't
Was
feel
that the
bad.
problem, Johnny? You weren't getting sex at home.
This is true. I mean, we had drifted apart as people, my ex and I. So it was not just the sex thing. It was a lot of different things where we weren't even communicating.
Right.
And we were just always talking and hanging out at work, lunch
Plus.
breaks. I would buy her coffee and, I never thought I would marry her, but
And now you have a kid. Now you're a
now we're
father.
married.
Now
with-
you're married, have a baby.
That's it. A lot of changes.
Let's talk about the show for a minute. A lot of people think these shows are scripted.
Mm.
Is there anything scripted about this show, my Big Freakin Wedding?
I can't talk for the other couples.
Nothing on our end.
But definitely not us. I mean, we had so much shit going on through the whole period of filming.
We
It was
made
just
the
kinda like-
production team's life very easy because we had a million things happening on any given day. So they would show up. We would say, listen, this is what we're doing today. And they would follow us around with the cameras. It was never them saying, okay, we have to do this.
It
You
was
have to
never
go look
plotted
for
out.
flowers. You have to go, pick out dresses. It was never like that. We just did our thing and they came along.
Yeah.
And you could tell because I can't tell you any other name from any other couple on the show, but the two of you.
Was there any talk of a spinoff of doing something with you guys after the show?
It's possible. We're knocking on wood there. So
What do you think of the Jersey Shore? Are you guys a fan of that show, or do you look down on it? Like, what do you think?
No, I mean, for me, I think that it's just it's their time of their life to go party up.
I say good for them.
That, and
God bless them. Let them do their thing. They're making their money. They got their fame and fortune.
They're getting what, like $80,000 an episode of some crazy amount of money now.
That's right.
Did you guys get paid per episode? You guys get money from VH1 or?
We didn't get compensated, but
we got $1 million of free advertising for Johnny Meatballs on VH1. That's what we got.
Isn't that fucked up? You're providing entertainment for VH1. They should pay you guys. Like, you're bringing in money to that network. Don't you think it's wrong that they don't pay you?
You know, I think at the time we weren't really thinking about the whole money aspect. And I honestly did not think that they were going to follow us around for 6 months.
She thought it was a one-shot deal.
I thought it was one day.
Yeah. Like one show, one episode, one
like
show.
4
Then we got the
weeks or some shit
60-page
like that,
contract,
you know?
and you know.
And then like they started following us like every day, and I'm like, yo, and I'm telling him, I'm like, what the hell did you sign us up for? Like, what the fuck is this?
Did it ever get to the point where you guys almost broke up over it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Absolutely.
a million times.
Absolutely.
What was the worst part? At what point was it the worst?
Well, think of it this way. I'm filming when I'm pregnant, going through having a baby, you know, planning a wedding, moving, starting a business. It's so much crap that's like coming down on you, and with the hormones and being pregnant, it's like I was about to kill him.
You just want to be like,
every other day we were at,
exactly.
we were at that point.
And how's the sex life today?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Still good. And how long you guys been together?
2 years.
That's just about the mark. When does the sex go bad? Is it at the 3-year mark the sex stops? There's a certain limit. The sex stops eventually, right?
Happened like around 5-year mark for me with my ex.
5 years to start?
Normally they say what, the 7-year itch, right?
Is that 7 years? If you can have a sex life for 7 years, that's a long sex life with one person.
Yeah, that is.
Unless you're into kinky shit.
You
right?
got to spice it up. You got to add things to the mix.
Spice it up.
And there aren't many women that are willing to do that.
That's why I tried to give my ex-wife her Burberry perfume. I wanted to spice things up. I want to have a little fantasy, role play. And
if Megan would have been willing to come home and have sex with you and your wife,
I definitely would not. No, his ex-wife is not
I floated that.
Not her cup of tea.
I floated that possibility. You know.
Today, all right, but
make
now,
everybody happy.
But now you would. Now the two of you, if the right, or as Megan puts it, the right prostitute came along,
right,
you would consider bringing in a third person for a fun night.
If we were all drunk enough, I think that probably would happen.
How drunk do you have to be? Like, how many shots of tequila would it take for that night to happen?
Bottle of Patron.
Yeah, probably.
Can you hold your liquor?
I can hold my liquor, yeah.
See, I would get you drunk. That would be, if I had a wife that'd be willing to do that, you'd be no reason ever to cheat. There'd be no reason.
Well, we're going right to the bar after this, so you know.
Nicole, you coming?
Are you attracted to Nicole?
There you go.
Nicole's very low. Yeah, she's very hot.
You could see taking Nicole home.
Nicole would be our type, yeah.
Really?
I would say, you know. We're not really into blondes.
I love
it.
Would it be Nicole? Would you be willing to do it?
I love these two. These two are great. And that's all I'm going to say.
Let's talk.
Gonna say.
Let's work out the details.
I'm so out of the loop.
Off air.
And I know that world exists, and I know people have these lives, and I'm so out of the loop. Like, I don't have any fun like that. There are swinger parties, and there are all kinds of shit going on out there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
You go to the massage parlors, that's all.
Yeah, but me, it's sad and lonely. Like, I have to pay an old Asian woman to take my hand, take my hand and grab my own dick and masturbate myself. Like, that's as good as it gets for me.
Yeah.
That's all I have to look forward to is paying $50 to an old Asian woman.
And you're doing the work yourself.
And I'm doing the work myself.
That's
yeah.
You got the shit out
and
of the stick
and I'm thrilled that she grabs my balls. Like, actually thrilled. I walked out of there with a smile from cheek to cheek. It's sad, right? It is. It really is. Johnny, you ever take Viagra?
No, I haven't needed it yet.
Don't need it?
No.
Really? Did you ever wanted to take? See, I take it now only because I don't think I can get an erection without it. Like, I take it every day like a vitamin. I get up in the morning and take Viagra every day.
Oh, yeah?
I take Ambien to go to sleep and Viagra to wake up.
So you just walk around all day happy? I mean,
it doesn't work like that. Like, if by some freak of nature I get the opportunity to have sex, hopefully everything will work. But it doesn't just make you want to have sex. It just allows you to have sex should the opportunity arise.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And you really still need to take it every day?
Oh, yeah, because I never know if that moment's going to come.
All right.
What, you don't think there's a chance in my life that one day it could happen?
I'm ready to go anytime.
And if it does happen, I want to make sure that I'm ready. my luck, the one day I don't take Viagra will be the day that I have that chance and nothing works.
At the massage place,
Yes.
not doing it yourself. Yeah.
Right. So I'm that's how sad my life is. I take Viagra to go get a massage. Like that's how sad it is for me. Seriously. Anyway, listen, we want to try these meatballs, Johnny. So, do we have forks? Would you
Yeah.
mind opening up and just throwing? I don't,
Sure.
because I'll make a mess. I'll spill all over the
They're
place.
probably cold by now. But...
See, Johnny's mad already. He's already upset. Now,
Yeah.
if I don't like these meatballs, can I tell you I don't like the way they taste, or you get offended?
Of course
No.
you can.
Tell us.
Tell me. I want honesty.
Really?
Yep.
Nicole, do you want a meatball?
Believe it, I know they're good, but believe it or not, I'm actually vegetarian.
Really? Everybody's vegetarian.
Yeah, they
Everybody in this
are.
fucking place is vegetarian.
No, there's a lot. This is like a trend
could
now.
Could you pass me a fork?
There's like a lot of people that are vegetarian.
see.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people.
Scott, do you want a meatball?
Yeah, are they the same?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They all
exactly
the
the
same?
same. Yeah.
I don't knock it though, and I know they're good. So
And there's no human flesh in this meatball, is what
No,
you're saying.
no human flesh, no horse meat, nothing to worry about. Veal,
Now-
pork, and beef.
So, before I take a bite into this meatball,
There is pork though. You could eat pork.
I can eat anything.
All
I
right.
prefer, the meatier the better. Now, what is the calorie count?
they smell good.
Do you know how much?
I couldn't tell you that.
It's probably like 10,000 calories for a meatball.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
know. I mean,
Low in carbs, you know.
Do you-
Protein.
Is that? No. Actually, it's really good.
You need more gravy? Just
No.
dip it in there.
So you call it gravy? That's
I
just
do
not
call it
thick.
gravy. Yeah.
Yeah,
To me,
that's-
it's sauce.
I call it
Sauce
gravy
for
with the
me,
meat.
too.
With the
It's
meat.
sauce.
Without the meat, I call it sauce. But when I put meatballs, braciole, sausage, it's
See,
gravy.
Gravy to me is brown.
Yeah.
It's so Italian.
I'm still trying to convert her.
No, what?
What do you?
These
what do you
are
think?
baked. These
What
are
do you-
actually baked.
So you put. How long do you bake them for?
I bake them in the oven, 500 degrees for about 10 minutes, and they're ready to go.
How many of these do you make a day?
600 pounds.
Are you serious? So
Yeah.
all day long you're making meatballs.
Well, I have a team that helps me with that.
and do
so.
you do quality control? Like, do
Yeah.
you,
Oh yeah,
Every
they're on our
day.
ass. They're there every day. We gotta have hats or hair nets all the time. You know,
what if you ever taste a meatball and say this sucks, something's wrong?
that's it. We don't send it out.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's happened. Where you
I'm
didn't like
I'm
the-
very very anal about my balls. I am a quality control.
anal about your balls.
I'm a quality control expert. They gotta be up to par at all times.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
because it's my name. It's Johnny Meatballs. I
Meatballs.
can't put out a subpar product. It's gotta be.
I mean, wait, hold on.
It's gonna be
no, no.
different than the ones you're getting at
No. I like
wherever.
them. No, I'm being honest.
They're
I
not your
like-
generic brand.
Scott, what do you think?
I like. They're not my grandmother's, but I like them. They're good.
He'll kill you. You know that.
No
He
real
doesn't
Italian
try-
is gonna
he
say that
doesn't
they're as good
try-
as their grandmothers. So
doesn't try
to that,
to
that's a
eat.
These
compliment.
meatballs are good. No,
That's a
actually,
compliment.
I do like them. I do like them.
Thank you.
You know what I would do? I would take these and I cut them up into little pieces, and I take my ragu spaghetti sauce,
Oh,
and I would take
Oh
my
We don't need the
God.
ragu.
He's gonna kill you.
And
I
Yeah,
take-
that's-
I take my A&P pasta,
No, you
It's
don't
a
want to do that.
sin.
and then
Sin.
I make meat sauce.
No.
No.
That's not how you
no.
make. Is that how you make meat sauce?
Within
No.
6 months, look for the Johnny Meatballs jarred gravy.
Yeah.
So you'll get my gravy if you
Really?
want to. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I just
Actually-
perfected the meatballs. So
Actually, it was really good. Seriously,
you.
I really enjoyed it. And you guys are great. You're fun. And Megan, you're beautiful. There's
Thank
something
you.
so sexy about your face.
isn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
that you know?
You really
that's-
are. Like, and then when you
She stood out to me at the old office where we used to work, and something just drew me in. It was I don't know if it was the perfume or what, but I
No,
just
it's something about your eyes.
that's what it was. She had like a dark
And you know,
mysteriousness.
and you-
Those dough eyes.
And you
know,
got
like
this
bandy
sexuality
eyes.
to you. Like
She does.
you love sex. You really do love sex.
She really
Well, who
does.
doesn't love sex? I mean,
She
sex is
exudes-
great,
You don't? There's a problem.
right?
Yep.
No, but some women don't love sex. Women have sex, but they don't love sex.
Well, then they're
You
not
look like
getting
you
it
love
right.
sex.
They're not doing it right.
They're not doing it right.
Yeah.
They're not getting it right.
Right.
She trained me well, so I know what I'm doing.
You're obviously a very sexual person.
Yeah, I am.
Half the time, I
Wow.
can't keep up with her. You know?
How great is that?
That's great.
What it's
That
like
is
coming home
great.
every night to a woman who's very sexual.
Oh,
Like
fantastic.
do you ever come? Does he come home and you surprise him with something just to? Like, what do you do when he comes home?
Well, it's funny, like, because I presented him with this book of like all these photos of me, like laying here.
Yeah, they were hot.
But
They
I
were
did
hot.
it. I did it on air. Like I did it.
It never made the actual show, that episode.
so
but-
for the show, for my Big Freaking Wedding,
I did it as
you-
like a wedding gift for him.
and they never aired it.
They never aired it. It's on. It's
Really?
all on Facebook.
But it's on her
It's
Facebook. She's got all the pictures up there, and
You should make a calendar.
Yeah, I made him a book. Maybe
Make a
I'm
calendar,
Going
there you
back.
go.
I'm going back to do.
she's gonna
some
do
more-
another shoot
more,
soon. She's gonna
more.
do like a Desperate Housewives shoot with like in the kitchen with the meatballs.
Yeah,
and
his fantasy is me like.
She's
holding
gonna have the
tray of his
meatballs
balls.
over here. She's gonna be covered in
I don't know about
gravy.
that.
You know,
When I get
how
home
hot would
tonight-
that be? A
when
little
I-
apron.
When I get home tonight, I'll probably fantasize about you and meatballs.
Sounds good.
Like I'm
there
gonna
you
be
go.
rubbing meatballs over my body. No, you're gonna be massaging me, and you're gonna put a meatball in my hand, and you're
Okay.
gonna squeeze the meatball around my wiener and make me
Okay.
masturbate myself.
Okay.
That would be
Works.
my dream
There you
tonight.
go.
There you
That
go.
will work.
Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to thank Nicole Kelly for being my co-host. Did
Pleasure
you enjoy
being
this?
here. I loved it.
Did you really?
I really did.
You sure?
Oh, positive.
All right, we'll find out later if you did or not. and I want to
I
thank
speak the truth.
And I want to thank Scott, the engineer, for making the show go on the air, and of course my producer, Shauna Thompson, and the world's greatest gentlemen's club, Sapphire, here in New York City. And we got to say Andrew's name, I guess, right? Andrew gets mad if we don't say his name. Yeah. Andrew, you have to Skype when you talk to this guy, Andrew. He actually runs the whole network. He's our boss.
Better save him a
He
meatball.
will only
Yeah.
talk to you if you Skype. Like you can't just talk to him on the phone. You have to look at your face on a computer screen to talk to him. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
No, just Skype naked the next time.
I'm going to. Next time, I'm just gonna point the camera at my penis, and that's what he's gonna have to talk to. And of course, read Stepping Out magazine, so-mag.com. You can watch this show on the GFQ network or where YouTube or no iTunes or
Flip.tv.
yeah, all kinds of
iTunes,
places.
You can download it on iTunes and so-mag.com.
Right, and we better go before Andrew pulls the plug on the show because we're going too long. So thank you guys for coming in. You were great, and we'll see you on Tuesday. We're going to be interviewing Ben Vereen for a full hour, so that's going to be cool. And that's going to be Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Till then, good night. And that's it.